So our longtime canine companion, Dottie, died last night. It's difficult for me to talk about it right now, but I think I should, just to record the moment. I'll try to keep it together. I've been very tearful both last night and this morning. We've known that this is going to be coming for a while. The last several months, Dottie has slowed down a lot. She started to seem like a lot of times she didn't know what was going on. She was kind of confused. She lost a lot of her balance. She slept a lot. She ate very little. And not too long ago, like 5 or 6 days ago maybe, she started having this serious breathing problem all of a sudden that I noticed, and I documented it. I put it up on my YouTube channel the night that it started, and that's when I knew that we were coming to the end with her. Since then, I've been not just me, but my whole family has been grappling with what it is that Dottie should be dying. Sorry. In Blackfoot culture, it's said we're not supposed to cry when a dog dies. Because the dog dies to protect you. In this sense, Dottie's death would be interpreted in Blackfoot culture as is that something was trying to hurt us spiritually or what have you, and she put herself in the way to take that harm. But, if it was a case that it had been sudden and unexpected, yeah, I might go along with some of that if the circumstances were such, but they're not. She just got old. And life times out. Every kind of species has a lifespan that's normal for that species, and you might go a little bit above the norm, but you're not going to go very far above the norm. If your species normally lives for 5 days, you're not going to live for a year. Dottie lived with us for, I'm not sure if it's 15 or 16 years, but you know, for a dog, it's about, for a little dog, it's about what's expected. Maybe a couple of years, maybe she got a year or two extra. In fact, I know she did, because she had some serious health issues a couple of years back. We paid for some expensive surgeries. And that bought her some time. But this time, when she got sick, both Mahoney and I knew that we don't need to go to the vet. Because this was either she was going to survive or she was going to die. For the most part, we assumed that she was not going to survive. And it was just maybe the last day or two that we kind of started holding out some hope. Because she was at least staying hydrated, and she didn't, you know, with how bad her breathing and stuff was, she didn't go as quickly as we thought she might. And so I don't know, so we went from being already kind of mourning her to holding out some hope that she might survive this. But last night, just before we were going to go to bed, about 1 o'clock in the morning, Mahoney took Dottie outside on the lawn to use the washroom. Dottie seemed fine. Mahoney brought her inside and handed her off to me. And she went back out because she was smoking. And so I took Dottie, and you know, right away when I took her, I noticed she was kind of limp, like her head. I needed to support her head a little bit. And I brought her over to her water bowl. She'd been, you know, the last day or two able to stand at her water bowl and drink from it herself, which is part of why we thought she was getting a little bit better, because when the problem immediately started, she wasn't even able to do that. So I brought her to her water bowl, but she couldn't stand up. When I didn't totally release her, but when I started to release her, you know, it was just jello. She was gonna fall over. And so I brought her over to the couch to put a little water bowl up to her face for her. And she put her muzzle in and took a couple of drinks of water, and then she went even more limp. And of course I pulled the water away from her, and she took a couple of breaths, and then she stopped breathing. And then I was calling out to her a little bit for maybe 10 seconds or something. Then she took one last longer breath, and again she wasn't breathing. And then I went to the door and I got Mahoney and I told her that Dottie's going. She came in. She was calling out to her, kind of trying to massage her chest, hoping that she'd start breathing again. And at that point I told Mahoney, it's enough, she's gone. She's already gone. Because she had gone. Although it seemed like, you know, she'd just been there seconds ago. And she had been, but she was gone. So we held her, we cried, and we wrapped her in her blanket that she's had for so many years. And she went to sleep on the couch in the place where she normally sleeps. We just wrapped her in her blanket really nice, and she went to sleep there. And I guess there was this big meteorite. I didn't see it, but a lot of my friends saw it. They were reporting it on Facebook and such. Just at that time last night, a big enough meteorite, enough that some of the people that were posting were talking about, you know, is it the end of the world kind of a thing. It just lit everything up. So, you know, by the time I went to bed, I had finished crying about the whole thing, and I started to realize that it's kind of a happy occasion because it could have went a lot of different ways, but it went the way that it did. And the way that it did, you know, we were there with Dottie when it happened. She didn't have to go through it alone. We weren't off at work. It didn't happen in the middle of the night, but it happened with us right there. And there wasn't too much suffering involved. She had a few days of some real struggle. I'm very glad that we did not choose the option that a lot of people told us to do, which is to take her and put her to sleep at the vet. You know, nothing against people that choose that option for their pets, but I think to steal even a minute of life is not right for us. And even though Dottie was really sick, she had some really enjoyable moments in the last few days. In the midst of suffering through her sickness, she had times where we were sitting with her and petting her, and she was feeling really loved. And so I'm glad we did it the way that we did. And today, this morning, we're gonna bring her to one of our favorite places in the world, and we're going to leave Dottie there, probably up in some branches of a certain area of bushes and such that we have a strong connection to. That's what we were thinking, that place. But basically we're gonna give her the kind of like You know, we're not Christians, so we're not going to burn her body or entomb it or anything like that. We're going to give it back to nature the way we ourselves would like our bodies to go back to the other animals at our deaths. But yeah, we're going to bring this Dottie to a place that's already powerful for us, and she'll make that place even more powerful. And I don't know whether or not Mahoney is going to want to video record it or not, and so I thought I would just give this little testimony this morning to kind of close off that chapter, because I had been given updates on Dottie's conditions. So I thought I'd speak to that, and because I've been kind of tearing up, I don't actually know if I'm going to use this video or not. I might do a re-record when I've got my emotions a little bit more under control. I don't know. But in any case, that's what happened. Dottie has passed on, and this morning we're going to bring her body out and make an offering of it. And we're going to miss our Dottie Dog very much.